Seeing the race start time approaching the 18,000, about to embark on a 13.1-mile journey. Of course, the elite always at the front of the field, introduced first. The rest will go off in waves, but the first to be introduced from Kenya is Irene Mogaka, the Commonwealth Games silver medalist on the marathon. Just being introduced by the local announcer. And of course, this the 2010 and 2012 European 5,000 metres silver medalist from Portugal, Sara Moreira, capable of just around about 70 to 71 for the half marathon. This is former world 10,000 metre champion, world half marathon champion, twice Great North Run champion, one of Ethiopia's finest, Berhane Adere. As far as the men are concerned, Tim, quite a field.
It is indeed. Commonwealth champion for the marathon, John Kelly, in this lineup. Was only 8th here last year in a slow time. Looking to exercise that ghost is the Kenyan. Up against him, though, the former world record holder, also from Kenya, at 10 kilometres on the road, Micah Kogo. He's a 59.07 man at the half marathon. He will provide stout resistance to this man. Last year, Haile Gebrselassie won this race. This year, they have the man who 2 weeks ago took his 4th world half marathon title, Zersenay Tadese of Eritrea. He's the outstanding favourite. He's the world record holder for the half marathon. And he's racing now on the streets of Birmingham.
Well, the starter, Robbie Grabart's bronze medalist in the high jump in the Olympic Games, those magnificent Olympic Games, which of course captivated the attention of the whole nation and the world, in fact. Beginning to spread out significantly, and it's all down to the pace of the Frenchman.
Well, yeah, I mean, Befta has thrown the gauntlet down. He's a 27.5-minute man for 10,000 on the track. He's not only a 2:09 marathon run and very strong, he has pretty good speed, but he's determined to make this quick. Goes through 1 mile there in what, about 4:33. That very, very quick pace indeed. They're heading for under the hour if they can maintain anything like this tempo, but he's reduced it down to what, 6 or 8 runners very, very quickly indeed, the Frenchman.
Behind Kogo, and Kogo, as you say, Tim, has really started to motor, and the Frenchman has really started now to drop off the lead. He set the tenor of the race, that's absolutely clear, but now seems to have settled back as Kogo takes over.
Well, Kogo looking very comfortable, isn't he? But we have to remember, Kogo is the 6th fastest man in history at 10,000 on the track. He's run a long, long way under 27 minutes. No wonder he's looking relaxed at this pace.
And she's got ahead of that group of males, so that's good, with Adere alongside her, as you can see, and that's good to see. She held the African record, Adere, incidentally, for 10,000 metres, 34:18, set at the 2003 World Championships. She advanced very, very quickly and became one of Ethiopia's finest over the years. And now, as you suggested, perhaps in her twilight years in terms of her running, but still a real handful in these road races.
By contrast, the men's race is fast and furious. Look at the damage it's done to the Commonwealth champion there in black, Kelly.
There is a big gap now, isn't there? Big gap. Tadese is, well, Tadese is a little bit off the back of these leading two, although he's still there. Where has he gone? Ah, there he is. He's third place. He's in third place behind Kuma. It's worth introducing Kuma again, because for his debut, I mean, he really is going very well indeed. 1,000 metres on the roads is 27:52. He's done a 42:15K. He ran a personal best over 10 miles of 45:28. You made that point earlier, Tim, and that was in the Netherlands on the 23rd of September. So you're quite right. He's in very, very good form. But Tadese, well, deep in thought, the man who holds the world record for this distance and became the world champion again, it's worth repeating for the 4th time.
Well, they do say that Tadese is the complete runner, Stuart. You know, he's won the world cross-country title. He's a multiple world champion at the half marathon on the roads, and he's an Olympic medalist at 10,000 metres, albeit back in 2004 on the track. So he's got it all done. He really is a supreme runner. Despite having come into running quite late as a teenager, he was a cyclist back in Eritrea. That was his dream. He wanted to be a cyclist in the Tour de France as a youngster, but couldn't manage the big distances. And when he tried running, found it World Half Marathon title 2 weeks ago. And I say fresh, it's the wrong word, of course, because he's a little bit tired. And maybe they're aware of that. And I think what they're trying to do here is make the whole distance a very honest one. Run hard through the first half, into the second half, and test the world record holder there, who certainly looks, as you say, Stuart, to be hanging on a little bit, 5 or 6 metres.
So they're running around about 75-minute pace. It's not quick at all, but nevertheless, it becomes down to a competitive race. Moreira is there. Moreira's first international competition was the European Under-23 Championships. She's a steeplechaser on the track, which is quite interesting. 16th place in the World Cross Country Champion in 2009. The Portuguese women took the bronze on that day. But he has come back to them, and that's important. The world record holder. So Tadese in third place. Kuma on the far side. And Kogo, Micah Kogo, the former world record holder at 10K in the yellow top, looking very, very easy. And these are the chasing two. They'll be in 4th and 5th places. Kalai and Mefta. Kogo still leading. Kuma in 2nd place. Tadese this time has been dropped for a 2nd time. Now, whether this is significant, it may well be. But certainly the debutante, Abere Kuma of Ethiopia, in 2nd place, is still there. In the women's race, Moreira of Portugal, Berhane Adere of Ethiopia, and Irene Mogaka of Kenya. These three all out on their own, and you can tell that it's not quick because Moreira looks very, very comfortable indeed. Just having a little look round there for a moment.
I have to say, she looks like she's out on a Sunday run, doesn't she? As you say, a little glance over her shoulder there, but these two have been within a metre of her or so for the last half hour and more.
9 miles gone then in this half marathon. Just about 4 miles to go now, and still no change. Tadese is certainly gone now, and Kuma, the debutante, in 2nd place. His first run over the half marathon, and Micah Kogo, the former world record holder at 10K on the roads, is leading and has led for pretty well most of the way. Well, particularly most of the significant part of the way.
Ease off, because he's acting as a pacemaker at the moment. And last, Stuart, something that's happened in the women's race. It looks like the Kenyan Mogaka is suffering there. She is about 20 or 30 metres back. And as expected, Adere just dogging the heels of Moreira there, the Portuguese, who must be wondering right now how she's going to beat the very, very experienced Ethiopian. 39 is Adere, Moreira 26.
Kogo just cannot shake Kuma.
Well, I alluded a couple of minutes ago, Stuart, to how long Kogo's patience will last, because Kuma is determined to just hang in there onto his coattails, hang in the slipstream almost of Kogo, not do any work. He hasn't contributed at all. He hasn't been in the lead one single time, if my memory serves me right. It's Kogo that's done all the work, and I wonder if Kogo might think to himself, do you know what? I don't need this. I'm not going to shake him off by just trying to crank up the pace all the time. I'm just going to ease back and see how things pan out in that last mile or so. The long downhill still in charge psychologically, I think, but this hill will make a big difference. Haile Gebrselassie last year said this hill absolutely destroyed him. He won the race in 61 and bits 12 months ago, and he said he almost reduced himself to tears on this hill. It was so tough and so long. It's well over a mile long, but Kogo here loping along. He's got this lovely, languid, raking stride, hasn't he?
Oh, Moreira, she's away. I think she's away. That looks to me to be the lead and looks very comfortable. And all of a sudden, she's got away from Adere. Now, I can't see Adere, so this is a big, big surge. We expected her to move. It was such a slow first half. And the second half, well, she's really now making her presence told. Final stages then of this 13.1 mile race. And it's down to 2. The world champion has been taken apart on this occasion after his toils in the World Half Marathon Championships a couple of weeks ago. And the man in 2nd place, Kuma, on his first ever half marathon, looking very comfortable indeed behind a man who is experienced, a man who knows that he's been below 60 minutes. But that big hill slowed them down a little bit.
Trying to complete these tough, lonely last few miles. He's got that hunch-shouldered style of his. He's still moving pretty well. But as you said, he is well beaten here today, and he's going to have to accept 3rd place, I think, at best, because Kuma is coming of age up on the road up in front of him and is still a big threat to Kogo. He's taking everything that the tall Kenyan has thrown at him, and retaining it. Indeed, it might yet give it back with interest. We said he was an exciting debutant, Stuart. We said he was a raw talent, but this really is him at the half marathon distance, one of the big road distances, finding his mark.
Well, these are the men and women who are way down on the elite athletes, making their way along this course around the streets of Birmingham on this Sunday morning. The fog is dispersed eventually, almost all gone now, and but they won't be worried about that. They'll be there, concentrating. You can see the looks on their faces. They've started off very slowly and going slower still, and that's the way to run if you're running for the first time. Will he have the pace? He's come off, remember, 45 minutes for 10 miles. He's run very quickly over 15 kilometers. Remember, the half marathon's 21 kilometers, so he knows roughly what he can do for this. But this is the first outing over the distance, and that is very much to his credit here. But he's had the luxury, in a sense, of having a man that he knows can run the 1 hour and sub the 1 hour to follow, and that's why he's followed him. He's used him as a pacemaker right the way through, really, to win this one. And the yellow strip, Micah Kogo.
Well, we know he's fast and he's strong and he's fresh, Stuart. And my instinct when I watch a race like this is to support the guy who's done all the work. He's done the hard yards. He's really worked for this as Kogo. He's led the whole way. Kuma has sat in there, tucked in behind him all the time. The danger is the little Ethiopian there in second place might use that more recent track speed, but they're beginning to turn the screw now. And Kuma moving alongside him.
Yes, he is, and this could be, and Kuma looks to me to be taking him on now. And Kuma for the, oh, look at the response from Kogo. What a response from the Kenyan here. He doesn't want to give way here. And Kogo goes away again. Kumar in second place. Who's the stronger as they approach the finish now? And it looks as though Kogo's going to do it. He's got away. And look at that for a finish. Kogo's going to win this one. He's going to take it. And Kumar on his debut in second place. Just outside the hour. But what a good run indeed it was. He truly deserved that. He said, I was second at the Great North. I want this one. I want it badly. But Kumar, well, you have to say, great run from him. First time over the distance, just outside the hour as well. But the difference between them, between the debutant and the experienced man, was very miles.
Tadese, well, he's been hit hard by that pair today. He's worked hard for this third place, but he's well beaten with Kogo and Kuma a long way up the road ahead of him. You have to say, sterling effort from the Ethiopian, because the Eritrean rather, he could have eased right back and coasted in, but he's worked hard for another strong time.
Yes, indeed, he didn't give up. He's got to third place, though, so Tadese in third place, 61, just outside 61 minutes. 60 minutes and 19-ish. Well, there is the result of the men's race, just over the hour, 60-17. Then Kumar in second, Tadese in third. Nakao of Japan coming through ahead of Mefta, Kelai, Abu and Spencer. Well, she got away, and what a good second half of the race it was. Berhane was with her, so was Mogaka, but all of a sudden, on the hill, she went away from them and made it a very strong finish.
Yes, Sara Moreira of Portugal, who has such a country with such a strong tradition in distance running, both men's and women's sides, maintaining this current generation strength with a very competent win here. And considering it's been a tactical race and slow for most of the way, that's a big winning margin for the Portuguese. Goodness me, 72.50 unofficially there, the winning time for Moreira, and it looked very easy indeed. She clearly can go many seconds, if not minutes, quicker. That won't have taken too much out of her. This is back at about five and a half miles. They are
5 miles
taking it very sedately, I think, these ladies and gentlemen. There's Adere coming home then. Second place for the former world champion, one of the all-time greats of women's distance running. Make no mistake about that. At the age of 39, the Ethiopian, she would acknowledge surely that she's a little bit past her best, but that's still a strong run to take second place in Birmingham today. Just outside 75 minutes for Adere. She's lost a lot of ground in these last 3 or 4 miles. My word, some 2 or 3 minutes on Moreira there, who greets her across the line. Nice to see that camaraderie. And there is Mogaki, Irene Mogaki, the 27-year-old Kenyan, has a best of just outside 71 minutes from the Great North Run last year. But she too has suffered through the second half. Moreira obviously turned the screw at around 9 or 10 miles and blew these two away just as they hit the big hills. So indeed that double blow was used to good effect against her opponents. But that's nonetheless a strong third place for Irene Mogaka.
Well, a good run in the end, but a dominant performance by Sara Moreira in the end.
And confirmation of that win for the Portuguese, 72-49. She beats the Ethiopian and the Kenyan by a goodly margin there. Adere and Mogaka in second and third. Claire Holm, the best of the Brits, in fourth.